Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, May 7th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. Messy day. Not surprising with the Fed. And then again, something with Trump with the tariffs late in the day sends the market into a major upward swing to get a price probe. We'll see if that's going to hold. We'll see how if that's accepted or rejected tomorrow morning. The one big thing it did, the daily was down up until the last couple of minutes of the day, and then we took out yesterday's highs. So in ES and NQ. So they're back to balance. In fact, they were whipping all over the place so much, there was a chance for an outside day up or an outside day down the way it was going in M period. Righty did not probe. Righty did not get an overnight low. Righty is an inside day. So technically, you could call them down to balance. They didn't take out yesterday's high, but they're still inside. So down to balance for them. They end with a 12 wide POC, 12 out of 13. And they had both IBs. NQ goes out with a 10 wide POC and a price probe. ES goes out with an 11 wide POC and a price probe. To show you how tight this MGI has been. Remember I said the previous 4 months this year, January through April, we only had one day at best in a month where the MGI was tied for a day. In fact, coming into this month, only twice in 2 days total for 4 months in ES. Well, it's 2 already this month. NQ is 2 also for 4 months. It's 3 in a row now in May. So it shows you how skittish, for lack of a better word, these traders have been. All over the map, and yet nothing gets accomplished. So we are back in balance now in ES and NQ. What I'm going to do is use a 5-day balance, right? Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday's high will be our balance high. Today's low will be our balance low. We finally filled those gaps from back in wherever it was. NQ also will be a 5-day balance. Okay, Friday's high, today's low. We replaced yesterday's excess high in F with excess in M today. The difference, though, is we also have excess on the downside in J. So we'll see which one gets taken back. Remember, a lot of times the market needs to digest Powell and everything that transpired before making a direct or attempted directional move the next day. That might be the case. Okay? Now, Trump once again threw a monkey wrench into it with whatever he said about the chip makers and their tariffs, which ripped the market higher, at least in M period. I had an okay day. I made small in my personal account, shut it down. And then actually, I lost on my last 3 trades of the day in a couple of my prop accounts. I'm trying to think. I made initially, well, I'll go over everything. So I didn't do anything in A period. A period was pure chop in both ES and NQ. I did get the long in B to get A's high, but it was nothing big, nothing great, but I got it in NQ. I also had a couple of longs against the 144 and ebb and flow trades. I did get the long in C to barely get the IB high and against the single prints. However, I did took another long against the 144, and it came down pretty hard, and I gave back some. I wasn't up a lot to begin with, but I got A's low. So I got both sides of the IB. And so I had an okay day, and I said, forget it. I'm shutting down my personal account. I made money on shorts in D period with some ebb and flow because we were still holding trend. I made money in E period against single prints also. And then I also took a long to fill the single prints in NQ. I didn't fill them right away, but I made some money on it. But then I took it again. That one went down pretty hard on me and gave back I was in one of my prop accounts. So I gave back what I made on those first trades and more. I then took a short versus half back at the time in G period at the time, thinking maybe they'd hold it. They didn't. Lost on that. And I actually took a short then in another prop account in J period, thinking with this we would go trend. Gave that back. Lost on that. Nothing big. I didn't blow any accounts or anything. But I hate losing. Ending the day on a loss, with a loss, let alone 3 losses. Now remember, I usually say I don't trade at once 2 o'clock comes. I only decided to take that because it looked like we were going to attempt to go trend in J period and NQ, and that's why I took it. Obviously, we didn't. We failed the trend days up today. We failed the trend days down today. There was a lot of failures today. The only real thing we could say that was accomplished was the bulls late in the day put the daily back to balance. We'll see if that's going to hold. Remember, if we take out today's low tomorrow, we go right back down to down. So for my money's worth, it's going to be important to see if the bulls do open above the base of the price probe and see if we can get going towards the balance high now. We had poor highs in B and C and in ES and in NQ until that late day probe in M period. Okay? Volume again, good ranges, $8, $9, but for the ranges, the volume stunk. Let's go to the charts. So a couple of things to talk about. Like right now, volume is, well, you know what? They increased it. It's 55 million, still under average, which is 68. So still not good volume. So the monthly, remember, SPY took out last month's high, but ES didn't. So ES is still down on the monthly, technically. The weekly, and this goes for ES, NQ, and righty, is an inside week 3 days in. Now, NQ and righty are up on their weeklies. ES is still balanced. Remember, ES never took out that March 31st weekly high that I talked about. So ES is still balanced. Okay? And the daily, talk about an indecisive candle. Look at that. So there's not a lot to take away from today, but it's a 5-day balance. Not only is it a 5-day balance, it's 5 days above the 50. Well, we've been below the 200 a lot longer than 5 days, but it's 5 days that we've been trapped now above the 50 and below the 200. That's a very indecisive candle. I wouldn't come in with any bias whatsoever tomorrow. There's no reason to, right? Absolutely no reason to come in with any bias tomorrow. We'll see what the MGI is around the opening. We'll see where the overnights are, and take it from there. Look at today's overnights, how they had sold, how they ripped higher from the opening bell last night, only to come in pretty good, and we never even got close to the overnight high, and we got the overnight lows. This is a very erratic, very fragile, very short-term market right now. And you have to stay very, very nimble and be able to change when the MGI does. I went live with Tradeify, said that earlier. I did not take a trade in it, though, today. Did not. This type of day, I didn't, first day live with it. I had zero interest in getting involved with that account, with this kind of mess that was happening. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.